Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and in this video, we're going to be talking all about Fugue's signature Lightcone Long Road Leads Home. Is it worth it? Can it be used on any other character? And if you don't have the resources to pull this one, can you use any other alternatives as well? Now let's go ahead and jump in and talk about the stats, and I'll also be sharing with you my own personal opinion because I'm always a pro of saving resources, right? Don't spend unnecessarily. Increase wearer's break effect by 60%. Let me be honest with you, this is a huge luxury. Unless for some reason you are just slapping on a pieces that you haven't even farmed at all without any substat of break effect. Her threshold of 220 to hit is very easy, and she doesn't even scale with the more break effect, the more that she buffs and stuff like that. No, it's just a threshold kind of thing. And even with a lot of free-to-play gear, you can already hit it. So this break effect 60% is just really very, for benefits the most lazy people who don't farm gear at all. Other than that, the one thing that is really good about this Lightcone is the second part over here, where you have an increased break damage taken by 18%. For those of you who are thinking, yes, I know what question you are thinking of, does it work with Super Break? The answer is yes. So it stacks up to 2 times because Fugue has a double break system where you break the enemy once, they get a reduced toughness of a slight lesser effectiveness of the toughness bar. So you can break them twice, and this allows you to get the double stacks of this 18% that stacks up to twice, which is really the benefit about this signature Lightcone over here. The question is it worth a limited? My honest thoughts, I don't think so. I don't think it's really worth it. This is like a limited Lightcone after all, and you will spend quite a lot of resources to get it. At the same time, the next question then is, if I don't think it's very valuable, we have to look at the alternatives in game, because if there's no other alternatives, then you kind of have no choice, right? But thankfully, let's now go into the game engine, and this is where you would see that there are plenty of free-to-play options available for Fugue, and this is my recommendation. So number one, if you have godlike gear, you have your break effect settled down already, you have enough break effect to hit her thresholds, which I think a lot of people might have, especially if you're running like the 4-piece, 2-piece break effect set, 2-piece sets that increase the break damage Talia as well, you will probably be able to push her thresholds very easily. In that case, using something like Resolution Shines as Pearls of Sweat will be my preference for any of you longer term players who have very good break effect gear on the right sets as well. This synergizes with a lot of her kit, helping you increase the damage the enemies take, which benefits whether you're playing in Akirion teams, whether you're playing in break teams, whether you're playing in some kind of like break DOT teams. This is universal, very good. Only thing is, do you meet the break effect threshold? Chances are, if you played a while, this is likely going to be really good. S5 probably going to be my top pick. However, some of you might not have hit certain thresholds and you just can't be bothered to farm break effect gear for a quote-unquote support. In that case, you have tons of options as well. The best in slot out of all of them free to play, in my opinion, is going to be Solitary Healing. You can get this totally for free from the Herta shop. 40% break effect that you can get, which is huge. Her signature gives you 60, so for whatever laziness that you are looking for, you get a lot of the utility already for those of you who don't want to like min-max and farm and want to meet her thresholds. At the same time, this is also nice if you are perhaps breaking them with fire break. They will have this burn DOT that is implied. This DOT doesn't mean that you need to be like Jiao Qiu, you apply like fire burn. When you break the enemies with her also, you will apply the fire DOT. So you do get some of these refund back and energy when you defeat them after they are broken from Fugue. So that is quite a nice bonus, but this is mainly really useful for the break effect here, the 40% as well. So this is probably my top pick if you don't want to think too much and you don't want to like farm break effect sets. Alternatively, a cheaper alternative, I don't know whether it's like cheaper, but it's 32% break effect. This is also free to play. For some reason, maybe you don't have enough tickets for Solitary Healing yet. Fermata also gives you the break effect that you're looking for. I think it's frankly speaking an inferior alternative to Solitary Healing, but for what it's worth, it's also usable. And last but not least, of course, is before the tutorial mission starts. I normally don't like to talk about this, but now that we have the ability to claim event Lightcones in the Herta shop, I can finally talk about it more. This is also another technically free-to-play option that you can get. Effect hit rate is not the valuable part. More importantly is the defense reduce enemies as well, so you can get a lot of energy refund to help you burst a lot more. This is of course really great if you are mainly using her as a bit more of your only fire damage dealer. Maybe you don't have Lingsha, you don't have Gallagher that is hitting the enemies, so you're relying a lot on Fugue for the fire application damage dealing that you want to do for her. in this case, this is great for her, giving her the energy refund. If you are using her more as a team support, I think that Resolution Shine's Expose also is way better, gives you a way better value for her as well. Some of the other alternatives, and now looking more at the other 5 stars, which is a bit more expensive, the rest of them, frankly speaking, I don't think is very good for her. It is usable somewhat, but these that I talked about is definitely the ones that are much better. One shout out, one honorable mention is definitely Patience is all you need. I think this is also quite interesting because this allows you to turn her into a DOT character for DOT teams. It's of course Kafka's limited, so not all of you has it. But I think it's worth mentioning that this one increases good amounts of damage for her when she bursts with her out, hit AoE in the instance, gives her a decent amount of speed as well, help with her rotation, as well at the same time helping her proc DOT, which is great if let's say you are using her in like Akirion teams, you need to hit more debuffs and stuff like that. This is also one of the good options available for those of you who have her. If you have this Lightcone, DOT teams for Fugue definitely start to ramp up. You might even use her in place of Jiao Chu in that slot as well to make like a DOT break kind of teams, which I think it might be possible as well, as long as we have more DOT characters moving forward. So that is like some alternatives, some things to consider. The big question then is, of course, going back, would I honestly pull this, and is this versatile on any other character in the game? If you look at its abilities right now, the only characters that cares too much about break effect for Nihility class probably is like DOT characters that can use it. So who else is in this category? So if we go back into the game engine here, probably the only one that doesn't mind break might be Kafka. If you for some reason don't want too much attack percentage works a lot better. But if you're playing in the same team, the only people that I can think of that doesn't mind break is a character like Kafka, maybe to some extent Black Swan, maybe to some extent Queen Ivan for that fire break, maybe Luca, but really it's very copium. I don't think it's useful for any other character in the game in the Nihility class right now. So it's very niche. It's a niche Lightcone with not too much upside, and therefore, in my honest opinion, I think that it's much better to wait for a better Lightcone in future rather than pulling it right now for Fugue. That being said, some people are actually mentioning about slapping the Lightcone on Akirion, turning her into a break effect Akirion as well. If you guys have any opinions of this strategy, let me know in the comments below. It's beyond the scope of this video. Some people are thinking that Akirion might be even a break Aron kind of build together with her, like very similar to Raiden Shogun, who went into Hyper Bloom, which is very unlike her normal crit nature. For those of you who play Genshin Impact, you'll get it. But anyway, those of you who don't play Genshin Impact, it's just a versatile style that Akirion might be seen moving into. That is just something that is going around. Let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts, and thank you guys again so much for watching. Check out these 2 other videos, which I think will be very useful as well, and see you guys in the next video.